That's where we are. And it's freezing. It's absolutely freezing out here.
Wow. Okay.
So are we ready to roll?
We're ready to roll.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Today is October the 15th, 2017. Nope, I missed it by a year, 2018. And as I mentioned, Krista and I are attending our youngest son's soccer championship tonight. For those of you that follow his story, know he has struggled with what we've thought was kidney stones and another sort of illness before then. And for 10 years or more, we've been trying to track down what this thing was that causes him a lot of pain on a cyclical basis. And we finally got it figured out. It looks like he had a procedure on Friday. And it looks like they've identified it as a polyp where his ureter meets his bladder. So thank you for those of you that have been praying. At least we no longer have a moving target. He's got a procedure scheduled for early in November. So thank you on a personal note for everybody who's been praying for Hunter. And Buddy's not starting tonight, but he's going to play in this game after having a scope on Friday. So, I mean, he's a beast. And so we're obviously pulling for him. Tonight we have the privilege of having a guest speaker on that. I'm going to turn it back over to Julie to introduce Tracy here in just a minute. But I just want to say our little two bits about Tracy. We were privileged to introduce or to meet Tracy and I almost said Bruce. I worked for Tracy's brother-in-law, Bruce, here in Kansas City for Russell Blanch out of Colorado. And I have to say, comedy is a big value in our family. We treasure humor. And Tracy has been, I don't know, she may be the funniest person. And that's saying a lot because we're in Skip Campbell's downline, right? So she's got some pretty stiff competition in our upline. But, man, we love the Blanches and we respect the mud out of them. I don't know what that means. People of integrity. And after Tracy's wraps up, I want to segue into our big convention week as well and throw some stats at you if you're sitting on the fence and not quite sure if global convention is where you need to be on the 24th. Maybe we can sway that decision as well. So welcome to the call, everybody. Thank you, Julie, for hosting. And I'm going to kick it back over to you, and I'm going to turn around and watch a little bit of this game while I'm listening to Tracy.
Okay, thanks, Mark. All right. Well, Tracy Blanch, we're so thankful to have you on here tonight. I hope you can unmute your microphone. But it's just an honor and a privilege. And I've seen you many times at our events and always admired you pretty much from a distance. But the times that I've gotten to chat with you and your husband, Russell, have just been great and very helpful. So let me give you a little bit of Tracy's background. She was born at Fort Carson Hospital, and something I didn't know, she was adopted at 6 months of age. She grew up in Manitou Springs, Colorado. She was a licensed cosmetologist for 32 years. She studied interior decorating, fashion design, and architecture. And her first job when she was 12 years old was a paper route, and then she worked at a fabulous ice cream store, and then she was a nanny. And she met the love of her life, Russell, at an airport, and they've been married for 30 years. And I love seeing them together. You can tell they're still in love. And together they built a multi-million-dollar traditional business and a multi-million-dollar network marketing business. They've been blessed with 6 children. 3 are married, and grandchild number 5 will arrive around January 1st. She loves to travel, collect shoes, sew, and do gardening. But her favorite place on earth is at home. So with that, Tracy, I'm just going to turn it over to you, and I'm so excited. I have my notebook ready, and just looking forward to this. Thanks so much for taking the time out to share with us tonight.
You're very welcome, Julie. Thank you. It's a privilege for me to be able to say a few words on your team call. I appreciate that. We love the Harrises. We love Mark and Krista. They're fabulous leaders, they're fabulous people, and they are marvelous role models for anybody, really. So if you're looking for great mentors, you guys do not have to look very far, do you? You have great leadership, and I hope you recognize that. Okay, for a few minutes tonight, I'd love to share with you some things that I'm very, very excited about, believe in wholeheartedly, and very passionate about. The first thing is the importance, the utmost importance of personal development. Everything that we do in life, every single thing, everything that we do in life is headed towards our personal development. We're developing ourselves every single day. When we interact with our family members, when we interact with strangers, when we interact with friends, everything that we listen to, read, look at, anything that we come in contact with is affecting us in a personal way. And it's helping us to develop in a certain way. Now that can either be in a direction that we want to go, or it can be in a direction that our mom would be ashamed if we were headed in, right? So when we consider personal development in relationship to network marketing, it's the key. It really, really is the key. And if you are already the rank you want to be, if your paycheck is already the size you want it to be, if you are already the greatest network marketer on earth, feel free to turn your camera off and just stop listening now, because I can't teach you anything that you don't already know, right? But what I find out is that all of us, myself, Russell, all of us are on this continual pursuit of personal development. And in network marketing, like I said, it's the key. It's the key to your success. It's the key to you successfully gathering your network, building your business, hitting that next rank, increasing your paycheck, reaching out to those people, being that leader in your organization that they need you to be and that you need to be, and gathering that strength to go out and find those new people. Now, in the very beginning, when we first started, picking up the phone was really hard. It was really, really hard. Now, I don't have a problem talking. I think if you know me, you know I do not have a problem talking. I'm not afraid to talk. I can talk about anything. I can go on and on and on. In fact, my husband has to go, okay, that's it. Zip it. You're taking all the time. Stop. But for me, it was really, really strange to all of a sudden have my husband Russell say, okay, we're going to do this network marketing thing, LifeVantage. You need to pick up the phone. You need to call some people and you need to tell them about it. I froze. Oh my gosh, I froze more than Mark is freezing right now watching that soccer game. I froze like you cannot believe. I couldn't even think of, like, what would I say? Blah, 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 blah. And for me, that is not usual. Not usual at all. So I had to personally develop in a way that I could overcome not being able to pick up that phone and say something semi-coherent to the person on the other end to pique their interest, to get them excited, to know more, okay? And what I finally figured out, my problem was is that I couldn't see them. That was the problem, okay? I didn't realize that in the beginning, but I finally learned that the problem was I had no captive audience that I could focus my eyes on and that I could see. And once I figured that out, oh my gosh, problem solved. It was so easy. Then I would just take the phone into the bathroom where I have a whole bunch of mirrors, and I was my own audience. There was like 6 of me. Then I could do the call. I had a captive audience. There was somebody responding visually back to me, and then I could talk, and no problem at all, right? But I had to personally develop in order to figure out that was what was holding me back. Now, you guys, it might be something totally different. But as we pursue personal development, as we get better, we figure out the things that we're not good at, and we learn how to become good at them or better at them. And we learn how to grow and be willing to grow and be excited about growing. Oh, amazing things will happen to you. Amazing things. As you grow and personally develop, you will become worthy of the size of your paycheck. Okay? Now, I know that sounds harsh right now. You're like, ooh, we're going to talk money for a second, but we are. We're going to talk money for a second. Everybody in the world would like more money. I was in an antique store just the other day. I love to go into antique stores. And I was in this antique store up in Denver. And there was this very eccentric man, and he has this booth, and he carries some very eccentric things and interesting things. And so I like to pop in and just see what he's got. And he was putting in some new items. And this other man walked by and was sort of chatting up and talking to him and said, you know, what are you doing today? And he said, oh, I'm just hurrying, putting some things into my booth. I've got a meeting I've got to go to and close this big deal. And he said to him, he said, well, you know, is it like a $1 billion deal? You know, what's the big hurry? And he said, boy, that would be nice. I'd love $1 billion. And this man said to the guy in the booth, he said, what do you need $1 billion for? You already have a Rolls Royce. And the guy looked at me and said, well, everybody I know would like another $1 billion. Isn't that true? And boy, I turned to him and I said, absolutely. Are you kidding? Absolutely. And so as we pursue building our network marketing business, every single event, every single activity in our lives is a personal development moment. If you are not attending events, you're missing these moments that could help you personally develop. If you're not attending the LVAs, if you're not coming to elite academies, if you're not planning on convention, oh my gosh, I can't even fathom not going to convention. You will come in contact with people. You will hear things. They will share stories with you. They will share personal experiences with you. You will rub shoulders with people that you will not otherwise have the opportunity to come in contact with. And there will be little moments where someone will say something or do something, or you'll just even see somebody that you'll be inspired, that you'll be motivated. And it will be a personal growth and personal development moment for you. You'll hear how somebody was afraid to do something, or they didn't understand this, or they suddenly learned how to do this, or whatever it was that took them to that next level, that then moved their business to that next level. I hope this makes sense to you. The other thing that I'm very, very excited and passionate about is being obsessed about building your business. Being obsessed about becoming a better person so that you can be that leader that people are excited and want to follow. That's the whole point of gathering a network. You gather a network, you're becoming a leader. And if you're that person that's kind of, well, sometimes I'm excited and sometimes this is fun, but I don't know about that, right? No one's going to follow that. No one is going to follow that. And if they do, not for very long. Okay? They want to follow somebody who is not just excited, not just passionate, but they are obsessed with what they're doing at the moment. Now, we don't have to be obsessed about certain things for the rest of our life. Okay? That's not what I'm talking about. But when we're building our network marketing business, we need to become obsessed with building that business, with finding our people, with gathering our team, with personally developing ourselves so that we can be that better leader, so that we can get to that next level, so that we can inspire people, so that they're motivated, they want to take action. And in the end result is we want people to be able to change their lives in a much better way. But we've got to do it first. And when we become obsessed about something and focused on it, laser focused on it, we are okay with spending about 80% of our time in that area. Okay? Yeah, you hear Mark Shinsato talk that we need short-term imbalance for long-term balance. That's what I'm talking about. You need to be obsessed, beyond excited about what you're doing with LifeVantage right now, so that then you can go on and be excited and obsessed about other things in your life later. And you've got this worry out of the way. You've covered your finances. You've gotten to where you want. You've built your network marketing to where you want it to be. And now you can go be excited and obsessed about the next new thing that will come along in your life. You will be a better person. You will be a better leader. You will be more inspiring. You will have made the world, your world, and the world around you a much better place. And that's what we all want to strive to be able to do, right? Leave people that we come in contact with better than when we found them. And there's no better way to do that than to better ourselves first, so that when we walk into a room, people are like, the room lights up and people are like, ah, that's the girl. That's the guy. Jim Rohn says that. I just wanted to be the guy, right? And then one day somebody said to him, that's the guy. That's the guy. And he got so excited because he had gotten to the point where people wanted to hear from him. They wanted to be around him. They felt enlightened and inspired when he walked into the room. And that's what we need to be. And that's what we should be aiming for and achieving. And your network will grow and people will be attracted to you. And you will become a better person and the people around you will be better for it. All right, Julie, I hope that was helpful. I hope that's kind of what you were looking for. I don't know if you have anything more you want me to add or you have questions or you just want me to zip it now. I mean, that would be great.
That was awesome, Tracy. I just love you sharing your heart in such a real, tangible way. And you just hit it right on the nail on the head, because personal growth and development and becoming a better person and, you know, all of that is just really at the crux of what we're doing in network marketing. So I appreciate that. I'm sitting here like looking at your house and thinking, I'd love to take a look around in your house. It looks so interesting. I know you were in fashion design and all, but it's just a delight to have you on here. Let me check the time here. Let's see. Would you like to take a question or two?
Sure, absolutely, you bet.
If anybody has a question, you can type it in the chat box and we'll have Tracy answer your question. And we appreciate that. I know, Tracy, you're also in the Building Depth group. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And you talk about personal growth. Learning from Blue Elam, Marcel, Sam Flake, Tony and Clint, Sherry Hollenbach, Everett Schilling. Oh my gosh, you talk about a wealth of knowledge. Everett Schilling is amazing. But being able to not only hear from and learn from these leaders, but to collaborate and work with them on how we can inspire people to create relationships down in their organization so that they have a firm, solid foundation in their business it's just been amazing and a fabulous, fabulous experience for me.
That's awesome. Well, we've heard some about that, and I know some people are engaged in that, and that's something that I really want to learn more about. Does anybody have a question tonight? If you do, feel free to type it in the chat box. But I've really enjoyed this, and I know, Tracy, that everything you said is just so true and so helpful. And we got one comment here that says they just realized they too have a hang up when there's no visual audience with visual feedback. So, you know, people are grateful for what you've been sharing. So we appreciate that. So anything else on your heart, Tracy, that you want to mention?
Let's see. Ray wanted to know, could you say more about figuring out what is holding you back? Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Ray, this was another big breakthrough that I had. I was at a lead academy in Dallas with a distributor of ours, and we were sitting at lunch at a table, and we were discussing, you know, building our business and, you know, kind of like what was holding him back, getting to the next rank and everything like that. And this guy is a very, very successful dentist, okay? Very successful dentist, fabulous personality. Oh my gosh, just a magnetic, happy personality, best smile in the whole wide world, just a super friendly, fabulous guy. And all of a sudden he said to me, he said, you know what I think I'm afraid of? And I said, Kai, you don't seem like you have any fears at all. And he said, I just realized I'm afraid of success. I said, that sounds stupid. Who in the world's afraid of success? And he said, I'm afraid of success because, not because I'm going to make more money or whatever. He said, I'm afraid of success because it means that it will be more time on my part to spend with a larger team, more people building my business. And that's time that I'm not sure I want to take away from my family. And I had an aha moment at that very second when he said that. I said, oh my gosh, Kai, I have that same fear. Isn't that crazy? I have been mentally sort of holding myself back, and that's what it's because. I know it takes a lot of time and effort to build a network marketing business. I know it takes time away from your family. It takes time in the evening. It takes time to be on calls. It takes time to travel to go to do things for people. It takes time to be away from the people you love. But in the end, aren't you building this for the people that you love? And we were having this discussion, and I'm like, that's just dumb. Yes, it's not going to be forever, right? I mean, unless we drag it out and make it forever. And so it was that realization that it was like, yeah, we can actually be a little afraid of being successful because of the time commitment that it's going to take. And so sometimes we need to have conversation with other people and figure those things out at an event so we can have that epiphany for ourselves, right? Okay. Can I answer just one more here? Can you tell us what you say to potential customers when you get them on the phone? This is also one of my hangups. Well, you say different things every single time. You know, some people that I called up, I knew that they had a specific illness or thing that they were dealing with. And so just right away, I just said, hey, you know what? Russell and I are doing this thing. They have this amazing product. I know you've been suffering with this. In the beginning, for me, a lot of people that I talked to had migraines because that's what I had dealt with for 25 years was migraines. And I get them 3, 5, 6, 7, all the days of the week, all the time. And so when I stopped having them, for me, I got excited about that. And so, you know, when you have an illness, you know, you kind of have this little team. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I got that illness too, or I got that illness too. And so I called several of my friends and I said, okay, here's what I've been doing. This is the only thing I added in. Here's my result. If you're interested, you could probably try it too. Okay, so that was an easy one. But it depends on, you know, who you're talking to and really what they have. If you listen, people tell you what's wrong with them. And then you can just go from there. And the biggest thing you can say is, okay, go to PubMed. In the search window, type in oxidative stress and that particular whatever it is thing that you have, thingamajig. And if there's studies that come up, I don't know, connect the dots. See what happens, right? It's not going to kill you. I mean, really, like it's not going to kill you. I haven't heard of anybody dying on Protandim. So it will not kill you. If you drink bleach, it will kill you. If you take Protandim, it will not kill you. But what could the positive effects be? Okay. Okay. How about I just take this last one? Is that okay, Julie?
Absolutely.
Have you ever had to overcome being afraid of what people will think of you if you share? And how would you overcome that? Yes and no. Yes and no. I'm going to answer this in sort of a weird way. The yes part, yes. All of us, I think we have a little bit of this fear of, oh, what will people think? You know, are they going to think I'm crazy? Are they going to think I'm doing, you know, dumb for doing one of those things? Are they going to think I can't get a real job because I'm doing network marketing? You know, blah, 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 blah. We all sort of have this little low self-esteem thing on our shoulder. And we're like, oh, I know. What are they going to think? Ah. And then I've got this bigger thing on this shoulder that I don't know if, again, if you've met me or you've seen, you know, how I act or what I say, you know, sometimes I say things and then I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Or, you know, how I dress or what I do. I care, but I don't care. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to make people feel bad. I definitely want people to feel good about themselves and be happy to be around me. But I don't care to the point that it's going to hold me back from achieving or doing something that I'm obsessed and excited about. Okay. I did share this one experience when I had my I'd had our fourth child. Okay. And I went to Home Depot. I had all 4 of them in the, you know, they make those carts. You can fit a whole freaking family in those big old carts at Home Depot. I had all my kids in the cart. And this lady at the checkout, when I was getting whatever it was I was getting, she said to me, "Oh my gosh, are all those kids yours?" And I had this moment where I had my feelings hurt, and all of a sudden I was embarrassed. It was the weirdest sensation ever. I hardly ever get embarrassed, but I was embarrassed. And I started to apologize to this lady I didn't even know. And I said, well, yes, but my oldest will be 5 in a couple of months. Okay? So I left that store feeling embarrassed and apologetic, and yet my greatest thing that I wanted to be in life was a mom. And you know what? I got mad about that. I got really hopping, fired up, mad about that. And I thought, are you kidding me? Why was I embarrassed? And why did I apologize for something that I was excited about and something I really, really wanted in life? And that time it was to be a mom. And so after that, every single time, and I got it a lot, people would say, "Oh my gosh, are those all your kids?" I would say, "Heck yeah." In fact, if I had more, I'd bring them with me too. And eventually we did end up having 6. So if you are not completely on board with doing network marketing, building your business, or you are not obsessed and excited over the moon with what you're doing, you will care about people's opinions about what you're doing. You've got to get to that point. Again, personal development. You've got to get to that point where you are bulletproof. Your skin is Kevlar. Cole Elam used to say, you got to have skin thicker than wet toilet paper to build this business and be successful at it. And you really do. Because if it comes from your mom, your neighbor, your best friend, your spouse, your whoever says anything, and you shrink back and apologize for building a business and building a network, then you've got to have some self-development in that area where you can say, heck yeah, I'm doing network marketing. Are you kidding? Why aren't you? You're not doing network marketing? Oh my gosh. Did you know that it's the greatest thing on earth? You're not building a network of people. You don't have a residual income. What the heck? You don't have a plan B? You got all your eggs in one basket? Where's your basket? I'm going to go kick it over for you. You've got to get to that point where you are bulletproof. And again, get a mentor. Read some personal development books. Listen to some audios. Attend every single event. Get to that point where you get yourself in front of those people that are going to help you become like that. Okay, that's probably really enough of me.
That is so awesome, Tracy. You've given some people here some aha moments, and I really appreciate that. You're just a delightful person. I'm going to be looking you up at convention to give you a hug. So thanks so much for joining us. It was great information, very inspiring. So thanks, Tracy.
Thank you again. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Sure thing. Mark, are you on? You still at that soccer game?
I still am at the game, and I was wrong. Hunter started the game to my shock and surprise. So
Wow.
we're 0-0 for those of you football fans. Almost to the half. Tracy, that was incredible, and we knew it would be. when Julie told me you were going to be on the call, I was excited because you're one of our favorite people in all the world. So we love you. And I'll pile on to some of that content. You know, when your why is making $1.80, and I'm being a little facetious, you know, when we start, we're trying to pay the bills and put shoes on our kids. True story. But as soon as you can make it about other people and realize we have at our disposal, we have in our hands a tool that has the potential to change people's lives physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. We're putting marriages back together. Number one stress-causing factor in a marriage, in a family, is finances, right? Ask me how I know. Because they're kicking my trash right now, trying to get our taxes done. Yes, that's another story. But you have it within your power now, the power of transformation. And it's not just about paying our bills. You know, it's about changing people's lives. And when that becomes your why, then I think you become bulletproof. Because, you know, if you're willing to risk people thinking less of you for $1.80, 2% on a bottle of Pro Tandem, I can see where that could cause a little fear. But when you get your head around the fact that we have something that we can help anybody on the planet with, oh my gosh, that changes everything. So Tracy, thank you, Tracy, for that. You're awesome. I wanted to hit you with some sneak peek. Hey, there's a goal. I wanted to hit you with some numbers that Darren started in Anaheim. Tyler picked up on it, got some refreshed numbers. I hope it's not too loud in the background for you. We're celebrating here. But just some fast bullet points that you will probably hear again. And I don't want to steal too much of Darren's thunder, but if you're sitting on the fence and not sure whether you could come to Global, consider these facts. People that come to Global, distributors that come to Global, they just order more product. And so we're going to have a launch of a massive new product. It deals with one of the largest industries on the planet, hair care. Obviously, perhaps I am a large client, perhaps, for the new line. I hear that it doesn't help male pattern baldness after the baldness, but surely preventively, perhaps we'll hear more about that in Salt Lake. But who do you think is going to promote the hair care line? The people that are in the room, or the people that didn't see the launch of the hair care line? Well, who do you think is going to be more successful at sharing that product? The people that saw the launch or the people that didn't see the launch? Now that's fairly straightforward, but I'll hit you with some other statistics. In network marketing, Eric Worre says the statistics that he has done industry-wide indicate that every single person that you have in your team there at an event, it represents about $1,000 in annual income. Across LifeVantage, when we take a straw poll, it looks like that number is more like $2,000 per head. I'm not trying to be mercenary or utilitarian. I'm just helping, hopefully conveying the idea that you're looking for leadership in your team, and the leaders will emerge when the light bulbs come on, when you don't have to drag people to make phone calls and do their invites and do the follow-ups. And when people start taking ownership of their own business, that's when your business changes. That's leveraged income, right? And that happens at the events. So just figure, for every single person that on my team that I can get to Salt Lake, it represents about $1,000 to $2,000 to $2,500 of personal income over the next 12 months. The people that don't attend, the distributors that don't attend convention or events, only average 3 orders. I'll say that again. The people that join LifeVantage with every intent to making this a thing, and they don't come to an event, they will order on average 3 times. That's not linear. That's not residual income. You've just opened a shop, right? And it's not a very good shop. People that come to events rank advance 1,000 times quicker. People that come to events rank advance 1,000 times quicker than those that don't. That stat will grab you. Here's another one. They're 2,500% more likely to enroll a distributor. Again, building residual leveraged income than those who don't. That's 2,500%. And here's some retention numbers I want to throw at you real quick. For the pro ones that join your business, if they come to events, chances are, on average, statistics say that they are 44% more likely to stay. Retention, it goes up from there. Pro 2s will average, I'm reading these on my little cheat sheet here, 58% more retention than those that don't. Pro 3s, 79%. Are you kidding me? If you have Pro 3s in your organization, do you think you want to get them to an event so that the light bulbs come on for them? No, you don't want them coming off. You want them coming on. Pro 4s, 88%. Pro 5s, 95%. And it goes up from there. So here's my last thought. And I don't want to steal too much of Darren's numbers. I've got some others. But here's my thought. I'm a big sports fan. Perhaps you can tell the fact that we're doing silly things like this and promoting them in our children. And I used to be the guy at sporting events that would lose my mind. Like Kansas City won the World Series a couple years ago. We were running up and down the street, hugging strangers, screaming at midnight in our neighborhood, setting off fireworks and all kind of ridiculous things. And, I don't know about you, but when I heard about corporate events for network marketing, LifeVantage included. That really wasn't something that I wanted to be a part of. I heard myself saying, I'm not a hype guy. I'm not a rah-rah kind of guy. But when you realize the fact that those sporting events aren't changing anybody's life, my Georgia Bulldogs lost in miserable fashion on Saturday. Our amazing Kansas City Chiefs lost in heartbreaking fashion last night. So none of that time invested, 4 hours each way, changed my life in any way, except made me an emotional basket case and not very fun to be around. But when you think about what those rank advancements represent on stage next week in Salt Lake City, those are lives being changed. Those are family trees being changed. And for us to have the opportunity to celebrate that transformation in those families, where else can you go to get that? Where else can you have that kind of recognition and honor and encouragement for people? So now I'm a rah-rah guy. Absolutely. I'm a hype guy because it's really not hype. This is substance, more substance than you could possibly hope to achieve in a sporting event or any other endeavor in human existence. I think we're hope brokers. And when you see folks stand up and walk across that stage, and there will be many of you next week in Salt Lake City that do that, and I will be the guy losing my mind down at the end of the ramp, high-fiving you, hugging you, taking pictures with you, because I believe that is the important part of life. And it's been said, I think John Maxwell is the one that said, once you've tasted significance, success will never satisfy. That's why we get out of bed every day. And that's why we're not embarrassed to do this. And the fear has gone away for the most part because it is no longer about us. It's about you and about the people that you know and the people that they know as well. So that's my thoughts from the district championships in Kansas City, Missouri. We love you guys. And we'll have one more call before convention next week. But Julie, I'll kick it back to you to close call. Thanks, sis.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. Good to see you, and look forward to seeing you next week in Salt Lake City. Look forward to seeing all of you in Salt Lake City and being able to actually give you a hug. And, I was looking at some of Eric Worre's things that he was sharing today, and he was talking about going to events, and he said, forget the cost, because the price you pay for not showing up is far too great. So that's really food for thought right there. And I just want everybody to know that at 9 p.m., Dave Pearson is having a doctor of physical therapy, Arthur Lupsha, on his webinar. So take a few minutes to text someone to get them on that webinar. But thanks for joining us tonight. We really enjoy seeing everyone. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be together here with us. So thanks so much, everyone. Good night.
Goodbye,
Thanks, Julie.
Pam. Goodbye,
Love y'all.
Aaron.